Priority 3 is a new one, and Carl touched on it when he was talking about the transportation, and this is looking towards western expansion of the city. So we have about 12,000 acres currently within the municipal boundaries west of the railroad tracks with very limited access at Otis Stone, Hunter, and Hargrove Grade. One of the things Carl identified was that we want to do an evaluation of 3 additional roadways that would be at Matanzas Woods, Whiteview Parkway, and Palmcoast Parkway to understand what are the best places to start to look to access the western portions of the city. This priority would ask the legislature to support transportation projects that would improve that access to those large land tracts. And this is a map of the area and the 3 locations that are identified, and you can see all of the inside the blue is the current municipal boundaries of the city, and everything west of the train tracks, which is unimproved lands, have very limited access. So staff needs guidance if you concur with those priorities or if you would like to change any of them. And whatever your suggestions are, we'll incorporate and bring back to you next week for your approval and transmittal to the county.
So I just have a first question. If 2 of the priorities are carryovers, and tell me if I'm interpreting this correctly, do we need to focus more to get our priorities to go through, or is there something else that we can do to bubble our priorities up at the legislative level so that they are approved and agreed to?
Yes, sir. We're going to move, we're going to work more closely with our lobbying firm on these particular priorities to make sure they understand that this is what you are looking for them to advance, and make sure that we have more accountability with them and understand exactly how they're working in that effort.
I think 1 and 2 are no-brainers. Those are no-brainers. They're much needed. So I don't think the lobbyists need to work much on that if they're smart, because these are no-brainers, at least 1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree with Councilman Burkino on that.
I would also concur. I think the term affluent makes it seem much less serious than what really happens when PEP tanks don't have power to them during times of emergency. I would also say that the general goal of broadband expansion into our rural areas, which was, I believe, on slide 1, Palm Coast doesn't necessarily benefit too much from that, but Flagler County as a greater whole may, so that might be an avenue that they want to pursue, but I concur with all the other legislative priorities.
So I like the balance. You've got some short-term priorities and longer-term priority in number 3. So I think you cover the bases. And to Mr. Burkino's point, I would urge the lobbyists to get at it and get the first 2 underway so they don't carry over again in the next period.
Yes, sir. Understood.
I guess you could say so they don't overflow.
Curious, Jason, have these carried over before?
Not that I'm aware of. I think last year was the first time for those 2.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, with no other questions, thank you for the presentation. Appreciate that.
I'll just add that our lobbyists indicated that they were planning to attend next week's meeting, so you can, make sure they hear you loud and clear.
We put the pressure on. Good. Okay.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, sir.
We can lobby them.